Kia ora and hello from Hutan Pantai, and today we'll be doing some contract work and fixing up a little bit of fertilizing on our new patch of grass. So without further mucking around, let's grab our tractor and we'll finish off that fertilizing. I left my tractor in here somewhere. Here we go. Into our trusty blue Voltra. So it won't take long to just finish off the fertilizing. I checked our map. We go up to our map and we go into our soil composition. As you can see, just along there's some bits that aren't fully fertilized, so we're just going to do a quick run down there with our spreader and we'll complete that and get that looking all nice. Probably not entirely important that we do it when it comes to yield. The amount of extra yield we'll get are probably going to be absolute minimal, but my OCD doesn't allow it to be left like that. So let's make a start on doing that. And of course today is Wednesday here, and we had our first lot of mobs dropped for the year from giants, so that was good to see. Although I did check out the Ridgy track and they have really mucked up there, haven't they? It is just, you know, no lights. The lights show up on the ground, but you don't see the lights glowing and no indicators showing or anything, you know. It's just, come on giants, get it together. Like, thank you for the free gifts, yes, not complaining about that, but honestly, come on, that's 101 stuff, surely. You know, would you let that go through mod testing? Or would you reject it? And if you let stuff like that through mod testing, you know, that's not what we're expecting. So I think at the very least we require an apology from you for that. Come on. So if we check out our map, we'll see that it is now all dark blue. So that is awesome. So we'll park this up. And then we'll check out the dealership. I think we might have a tractor waiting for us there. Okay, so let's run over, put the torch on. Actually, just for keeping the weeds down, we might just flood the fields again. And the reflections look great, don't they? Giants might not be able to do their lighting properly on their tractors, but they can do reflections okay. So I saw a post from DJ Goham, and he was saying that they have brought back sort of the list, as in how many mods are being tested, how long it's expected to take before they're tested, and if they need to be fixed, how long it will take for the retesting to be done. So I think that's a good thing. It gives us a bit of clarity. They're not telling us what the mods are, but they're telling us that there's an awful lot of mods to be tested. So I think that's good. A little bit of clarity on that. So that was nice. And of course, after the post, there was a few of the joke comments about, you know, a flood of 3-meter cultivators. And maybe a whole lot of farm buildings in the Polish style. Okay, there we have it. We've got a baler. And for you John Deere people, a John Deere tractor. 7R. Now, there we go. So, I know some of you will be happy. Some of you will be disappointed. Like I say, I'm a Massey fan, but, you know, the tractor was the one that they had available for the contract, so we'll do the contract with that. So let's head off to the contract. It's round the corner here. Aren't these dawns fantastic? Just the colouring. Okay, so we've got this large field here. So we can set up guided steering if we know the distance between the rows. Now it used to be I would try and guess the distance between the rows, but I have found a mod that might be helpful. It's called the measure mod. Now if we come down to the first windrow and we do that, Now you can see it's telling me that it's 0 meters. Helps if I line myself up properly. So let's shuffle over a bit. Here we go. Now if we go from there to there, it's going to tell us that it's about 11.7 meters. So round that up to 12 meters. So if we hop back in here and set our steering assist to 12 meters, and there we have it, all nicely lined up on the windrows. So we're all good to go. So I thought that was a nifty little tool to be able to measure the distance between the windrows so we know what to set our steering at. That way I can relax. I've got my hands off the wheels. Yeah, get them into the camera. And I'm just following around. So I thought that was a nifty little trick. It's available on ModHub. It's called Measure. And I think it's initially meant to be for when you're cutting logs and all that, you can set it and you can measure out the distance you need to load onto a trailer, like 6 meters, 5 meters, 8 meters, whatever you want for your length of trailer. So I think that was the initial plan, but it works really good just like this as well. You saw how easy that was, and we were able to tell without having to guesstimate. Was it 10 meters? Was it 11 meters? Was it 12 meters? So excuse me. So I thought that was quite good. Got to be careful here I don't get too carried away and fall into the canal. Yep. Stopped in time. So it'll be interesting to see if Giants will be giving us more mods tomorrow or overnight my time, or whether they'll leave a couple of days before they release new mods. And I think everyone's expecting some sort of patch in the near future, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do release a patch, and if they do, whether it will actually fix all the problems that are left. I think most of the problems are with the Riverbend Springs. I tend to have a bit of problems with that. You know, there's the museum that's not working. The sunflower farm that after the first season is just looks like an Addams Family's farm. There's the dredge that you can't pick up the stones from. Easy way out is to say you never could, but come on, I think we all know that that was meant to be available for stones to be picked up from. May have had to buy it, but the stones were there. So yeah, just different things like that. And the other thing I've noticed with that is I tend to run out of VRAM on that map, and when that happens I start getting like the monitors displays on the tractors and the details in, say, the roof, the speakers and all that, the dots all end up merging. I don't know. Hopefully they'd fix that as well. Whether it's some sort of memory leak or something like that, I'm not sure. I just know that if I tend to restart, that the textures will come back to looking reasonably okay. So yeah, and I only seem to have the problem mainly with Riverbend Springs. Don't seem to have it so much with Hutan Pantai or Zelonka, or for that matter the New Frontier. There seems to be a bit of a race to try and get a farming map released in FS25. Seems to be some coming out. I still think Calmston Farm will be a hard one to beat. I think it won't be the first one to come out. The others will beat it. But some of the other ones that I've seen, they've been around since 2017. They're just using all the base game pens, animal pens, and that sort of thing. So it can be good from that point of view, because if it's using base game stuff, you can delete them and build the farm however you want to. But to get that real English feel about it, you've got to have the unique buildings on the map, don't you? So yeah, it'll be interesting. There's another map being released, English map. I have sort of played it before, but yeah, I think I ended up. It ended up coming out at about the same time as Court Farms, and Court Farms was just such a great map. So these baling contracts are just, as they say, money for old rope. You just, you don't have to worry about stopping with this kind of baler. You just keep moving forward, and you're just picking up the windrow and dropping bales. I think this is about 27,000 payout for this, less the lease of the tractor and baler. So that's pretty decent. So we've got 428,000 in the bank, but I am wanting to buy some fairly expensive equipment, so that money's going to disappear pretty quick again. I am after that Class Terra track. I know I said I was a Massey person, but that Class Terra track it looks awesome with the tracks. It does. Okay, so we'll get this lined up, and the first row of basically the full length, so we'll just carry on. And welcome to watching an old man drink water simulator. Here we go. You get to see all sorts of things on YouTube, don't you? So how's everyone been? I hope you've all had a good day. gone well for you. Hope you haven't had to work too hard. And if you have, I hope that you feel like you've achieved something and it's been a productive day. Some of you may be wondering what's happened with the energy farm. I am working on the energy farm. I'll be away for a week later on in the month, so I won't be able to do any streaming. So I'll be uploading some videos then. There's a couple of test videos, one with a bit of a surprise, to be honest. One was, what you would expect, but one was a surprise that definitely changed things. So hopefully you find those interesting. So I was playing around today with some mic settings and filters with the OBS. I haven't actually used it yet because I think I've been getting fairly good sound. But let me know in the comments whether you think the sound is good or whether I should be tweaking it and making it sound better. There's definitely some tips that I could maybe improve the sound a little bit, but when I play it back it does sound pretty reasonable to me anyway. But let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments if you think that you're looking forward to Calmston Farm being released, whether it'll be a map that you play or whether you prefer sort of the big American maps and that sort of thing. For me personally, I wasn't a big fan of the big field American maps, but I did play around a bit with a large field on one of the Brazilian maps, and I played around. This is with Courseplay, of course. I played around with having 3 or 4 machines working on the field all at the same time. Harvesters, the mulchers, all working on the same field at the same time, and that was quite interesting to set in motion and watch happening. So I think Courseplay definitely has its purpose, especially for doing things like that. So But yeah, that was something nice to do for a change. Like I say, I tend to go towards the smaller equipment, tighter, English, sometimes European maps. Some of the French maps were really good. So yeah, I tend to go for more than that than the big fields. But yeah, sometimes it was good just to let loose and just do that. Okay, so we're getting through the field. Done 18 bales so far. I only just noticed it, but you look at it, you've got one monitor there, the back one, the one with the blue stripe, that's connected to the frame, the window frame, and you've got the other monitor there that's actually connected to the seat, so they move independently of each other. The suspension on the seat is moving up and down with the bumps independently of the tractor, so it's actually quite a neat effect, isn't it? Okay, so I think we've got maybe this and the next one are sort of the last of the full length ones, and then they start getting shorter. The field up there's got a little bit of a dog leg and it sort of angles off at the other end there, so yeah, we're getting through it. Won't be too long. I checked and our wood supply is looking good for the mill, which means our wood supply for the carpentry is looking good. Alright, so I think the next one's a little bit shorter. I still can't get over that Ridgy track being released like that with the lights not working. It just boggles the mind, to be honest. Truly disappointing. Truly disappointing. And I hope they release an update soon to fix it. I do miss that mod where the head turns in the direction that the steering wheel is. It's good for doing fields like this where you're turning and you're trying to see where the next windrow is to line up for it. So I think there were well over 1,000 mods to be tested, so let me know in the comments what some of your favourite mods are that you hope could be in the list. I know I've got a few. One of them is the buy the productions. That way you can have a factory running all the time, which to me makes sense. If you're buying a factory, then you're not just going to have it sit idle waiting for your next harvest. You're going to be buying product from other farmers. Yes, you're not going to make as much money, but you still be able to make a little bit of a profit. And let's face it, most farmers don't own factories. They supply to factories. They're contracted to factories. So in a lot of ways, the whole production side of things in Farming Simulator is not necessarily realistic. You don't buy factories. Some of the smaller productions, some farmers do that. And have successful businesses running out of their farms, but a lot of farmers just do contract work for factories. They'll grow peas and are contracted to supply to a particular factory, wheat to a particular mill. So maybe that could be something that could be implemented. There was a similar mod which, sort of in FS22 where you would get a bit of a bonus payout for delivering a certain goods and all that, and it would get harder and harder. Some with animals, and some was arable, but it wasn't. It was sort of done, but not to the same extent where you're contracted to grow peas for a particular one, and you would get extra money for it. I think that could be a good thing. Or maybe you could have it that you accept a contract and you get a quarter of it to begin with. If you're a new farmer, getting paid a certain amount before you harvest could be really good. Could be helpful. yeah, if you are buying productions, if you are buying factories, then why can't you buy the product in? I know we do sort of have that workaround with the buy anything silo now. You can go and buy a trailer load of whatever you want and can deliver it. And you can buy a trailer load of whatever you want for 60% less than the going rate. Which is fine as well. But yeah, it was just handy. You could just buy stuff in, and it would be there. You wouldn't have to go and cart it. Otherwise, the game becomes more of a carting game than a farming game, doesn't it? You're just carting stuff from here and there. Okay, I think we're all done. 30 bales. And I think we can deliver some more. 32, and then we'll empty out the last one. So 33 bales. So that was all right. So our rice fields are nicely flooded. So we'll drop this off. Oh. I think that was my fault, that one. I think that goes down to I learnt to drive from the AI. Okay, so let's call them up. Okay, here we go. Completed. Let's collect that. Okay. Okay, so let's head back to the farm. Fortunately, it's not far here. Yeah, I think we can cut across the field here. Okay, looks like we've got some more milk from the goats to collect. And we need to feed the animals. Let's go collect the milk. Our trusty Massey. And I will need to build a fence along the rice fields there so I don't run into them again. I really should have given myself a bit more space, shouldn't have I? It is a nice model, this one. I do like it. I like the older equipment. In FS22 I usually end up setting up a tractor museum with some of the old tractors, and that was fun, you know, and then you're just walking through the museum and looking at the old tractors. I set one up on Court's farm. Had the old John Deere, the Ford, and they were basically tractors that were popping up in the used tractor sales. So I would get them and then I would do them up, and you know, I'd just have a bit of fun with that. But it looks like we've got some butter already, and goat milk is getting up there, so looks like having the 2 milk has slowed the actual milk consumption down, because we were running out of goat milk all the time, but it seems to be building up. So I think we'll call it an evening there. Thank you so much for watching. Argsy is about to start his live stream at 9 o'clock, so New Zealand Daylight Saving Time. So thank you so much for watching. Do appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and also hit the like button. Don't smash it. Don't smash it. I don't want you to smash it. I don't want to be responsible for a broken screen, okay? But hit the like button anyway, and you know, just share it with other people. It's a new channel, so I'm just trying to get some more viewership. So I appreciate all the views that I am getting, and you know, thank you so much for your support, everyone that has watched. I do appreciate it. So until next time, you all have a good day, a good morning or a good evening wherever you are in the world, and bye.